Are y'all ready for the Dr. James J.C. Cooley Show? It's your life. That's right. It's your life with Dr. James J.C. Cooley. Dr. James J.C. Cooley. It's the James Cooley Show. It's your life.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore them or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guests will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 6 p.m. right here on 660 AM The Answer in Dallas-Fort Worth.
The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, can be heard every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego. Life is full of circles, cycles, phases, and stages. It's your choice to ignore or embrace them. Motivational speaker, author, military veteran, and founder of the J.C. Cooley Foundation, James Cooley, and his guest will inspire and equip you to strive for your own greatness and overcome adversities. Listen to The James Cooley Show, It's Your Life, every Sunday at 9 p.m. right here on The Answer San Diego.
Yeah. Dr. James J.C. Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life. Yeah.
Hello, welcome to the James Cooley Show, It's Your Life. I'm your host, Dr. James J.C. Cooley. Wow. We are in sunny California. We got away from that.
And Dr. Cooley, I think you're having some technical issues with the sound. So I'm going to do the intro again. Welcome to It's Your Life with Dr. James J.C. Cooley. We are in Southern California, our studio here in Temecula. We're really excited to have you join the show today. We are on over 84 live streaming platforms, including YouTube, LinkedIn, Facebook, E360 TV, Rumble, and we're just really excited to have you on the show today. So our guest today, we're going to talk about the power to change the way you love yourself from survival to self-mastery. And we have an amazing guest, returning guest. She hasn't been on for a while. And let's just talk about her. So we're having a conversation with Coach Andrea Lee. She's a transformational coach, author, speaker, and a poet. She's going to discuss what self-love really means beyond the hashtags, turning pain into purpose, the 10 life-changing steps to self-love, creativity as a healing tool. So Coach Lee is an award-winning, again, transformational coach for personal growth and healing, author, speaker, poet, facilitator, and creative visionary, dedicated to helping individuals heal, grow, and rediscover their self-worth. With over 20 years of experience in social services, emotional intelligence, life mastery, anger management, parenting, and creative expression, she blends education, creativity, and lived experience into powerful tools for transformation. She is the Chief Business Officer of Creative Love Network, where she leads healing centered workshops, showcases, and community based initiatives that merge poetry, wellness, and personal development. Her impact has been recognized at an international level. She's a two-time winner of the International Impact Book Awards for her powerful contributions to literature and personal development. In 2025, she was also honored as the winner of the Flux Award for Transformational Coach for Personal Growth and Healing. Please welcome back to the show, Coach Andrea Lee. Yay! Coach Lee, how you doing?
Good, good. How are you?
We are doing great. We are doing great. Welcome back to the show again.
Thank you. I want to thank you for having me. It's such a pleasure being here and learning about all the great things you guys have been doing since I've been gone.
Great. Well, the title of the show is The Power to Change the Way You Love Yourself from Survival to Self-Mastery. And, there's so many, speakers out there, books out there, articles about self-love. So let's just start with the basic thing. Let's just say, okay, you often say that self-love is more than a trend or a hashtag. People use hashtags a lot these days.
Yeah.
How do you personally define what self-love really is?
So for me, it's deep and it's personal. And very intentional. I wrote it to give people a roadmap for healing. The most important relationship is with yourself, right? How could you truly say you love someone else if you don't know what loving yourself is? So just going through, the life and how I was brought up, never been taught how to love, shown love, or even told I love you, or hearing those words. So I have to find that in myself and just reach deep down. And working in the field with teenagers for over 20 years and them having the same, situations that I've been through. So I created workshops, and I actually wrote the book in 2019, which I really didn't know what I was doing, back then. Going through a writing school and just developing my craft and my talents and working with creative individuals like my team at Creative Love Network and holding workshops and things like that. I was able to build more on what the power to change the way you love yourself means.
Wow. So, social media, I mean, you can, but you can't escape social media. But, what is the biggest misconception, in your opinion, people have about self-love in today's social media culture?
I feel like people talk about the outer appearance, right? Not about the inner work. Self-love is just about feeding yourself or getting your nails done or going shopping or looking good. We have to do the inner work, and that's the most important things. Having sympathy and empathy for others, showing up for others, giving back genuinely without expecting something in return, right? And loving yourself enough to set boundaries, because a lot of people don't know what that is. So they continue to live in a trauma, separating yourself from the people that's bringing you harm, because we make the excuses, oh, that's my mom, that's my dad, that's my family, I have to do these things. But just saying no with a period behind it and meaning it. It's a complete sentence. And that's what self-love is.
And, I look at social media. There's some great things about social media. It's amazing. It, promotes great things. But sometimes I look at these videos people post and pictures. I'm like, why? Why? I mean, I'm just a private person. I understand, you have a business you want to promote. That makes sense. You're on social media, but what? Don't you get the why sometimes in your head? Like, why? Why do I need to see this? Why?
The way you want to present yourself, right? And that's very important. So in my book, I talk about how Our early experiences shape the way we treat ourselves as adults. Often without realizing it, we explore topics like learning to set boundaries without guilt, breaking cycles, because I'm not going to continue to do the things that hurt me to other people. And that's also with my children, and also setting boundaries with them as well. And people at work,
Mhm.
uh, I take the word friend very, very personal. And some people are like, oh, my friend. No, no, no. We're not friends. Like, I don't even know you. We're colleagues. We can become associates, but there's levels to these things. And just making sure you set those boundaries without being mean or, hurtful to others.
I'm like you. I don't call everybody friend. I'm so glad. I call them associate and acquaintance. For me to consider you a friend, and I can still know you for years, but I don't consider you a friend.
Exactly.
Friendship to me it's like family. It's deep and it's personal. I can share who I am with you. I may or may not tell you my deepest, darkest secrets, but no, everyone ain't your friend. But self-love. So, so many people today, they struggle to build a real, well, actually, let me just ask you this before. Decision making, self-love. So, how does genuine self-love show up in people's daily decision making, not just in self-care, what I'm going to wear today, how I'm going to wear my hair. You can look beautiful on the on the outside, but you can feel really horrible on the inside. And that's why we say appearances can be deceiving. Hypothetical, you can see a beautiful couple, they're smiling, she's great, she's got these amazing shoes, nails done, hair, pretty, or whatever. But that may be the most insecure person out there. They're putting on a show.
Yes.
And so, decision making, how does genuine self love, in your opinion, show up in decision making skills?
It's starting with, like I said again, the inner work, but looking in the mirror. I do a lot of mirror exercises, talking to yourself positively, not using those negative words because we don't see ourselves the way other people see us. Like you said, outside appearances, you can look good. That doesn't mean you feel good on the inside. So making those decisions to say, I don't need this job enough to disrupt my mental health. Money is not everything, so I'm going to say no and walk away. And that's from a job ship, a relationship, a business ship, a friendship, whatever it is. But making that decision for you to make sure that you're okay mentally, physically, emotionally, and that's very important because sometimes we hold on to things and people because of longevity. And that's not always good. I worked at a job for 18 years and I missed so much of my kids' life, the things that they did. I was dedicated to this job for them to just throw me away. And I learned a lesson from that because I was young and you always talk to me like, oh, you keep a job, you stay there no matter what happened. You're getting paid, you have to deal with it. I don't have to deal with this for them to mistreat me. So how do we love ourselves first and say that money is not everything? And I know that I'm more valuable and I can find something different and be happy.
I hear that. I hear that. I mean, it is longevity, like a childhood friend. Oh, that's my girl. That's my boy. It's like, oh, wow, I'm not, it's not the same. And sometimes you grow apart with friends. It's nothing negative. It's like, if you're holding on too tight to something and it's stressing you out, that ain't the thing you need to hold on to anymore. That's just my opinion. Oh,
Yes.
so what you think, James?
Wow, just can you guys hear me?
Yeah.
Yes.
Just listening to the first segment, I mean, I just decided to stay in the background because you guys had that flow going, but a positive and self-confidence in one's is so important to the successes that we could potentially have as we grow and become more seasoned. So this is a great topic for what we're talking about today. I'll tell you what, our viewers and our listeners out there, listen to this young lady right here. I mean, she bringing it. And if you want to be part of this great conversation, whichever platform that you're watching us on, whether it's E36 Television, Transfer TV, Apple TV, YouTube, LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, uh, and Rumble and over 84 other platforms. Welcome to the show. If you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do is just go to the comments on the platform that you're watching us on. Ask any question that you might have. I promise you, we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
The James Cooley Show. It's your life. That's right.
Really get a chance to know who you are. And once you know who you are, you truly know who you are, love who you are. Love who you are. You're a masterpiece. Love who you are. Love who you were born to be. Love me some me. That's what I'm talking about. When you leave high school, you gotta know today or tomorrow, or hopefully today, what your plans are. Hopefully, there is no bad decision unless there is no plan. Create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with what? Commit with what? And everything that you do.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you, we're having a sit-down discussion with Coach Andrea Lee. She's been on our show before, and we're so happy to have her back. And I don't think that we gave her the right applause and all of that when she came on the show. So, welcome to the show, Coach Andrea Lee. I think that's a better welcoming. So I noticed that you and Michelle was talking about relationships, also relationship, understanding oneself and loving oneself as we continue to strive, survive, and master the art of how we care for others. And so my question is, why do many believes that struggles to build a lasting relationship with themselves has an effect on creating lasting relationships with others?
So
What are your thoughts on that?
in my book, I talk about the way we were raised. So in self-introduction is the first step, the first chapter. And I ask the people, who were you taught to be and who are you actually? So we know growing up that as a woman, we were taught to be nurturers, right? Caregivers. We're given a doll. We take care of the doll. They teach us how to cook, how to be loving. With the boy, you're taught you like blue. This is the color for you. You work hard. You don't have no feelings, emotion. You don't cry. You take care of your family. So when you put these two people together, they're totally opposites. But I don't want to be all lovey-dovey because that's not who I am. And I'm not going to cry in front of her because she'll feel like I'm weak. And then if they do, it's kind of used against them. So the relationship kind of doesn't work because we don't have that loving relationship if you come from that type of family. So it's very difficult growing up and when you wasn't taught how to properly love yourself. So how could you love someone else? So that's why we have a lot of broken homes, broken relationships, and the parents don't really know how to care for their children because they were taught differently. I have 6 siblings and we all are different. Even though we grew up in the same household, we were taught different things, like how to be strong, or, you can't cry, you're a punk, or you have to stand up for yourself, you have to fight for everything. So that's kind of difficult, just learning those things and unlearning to learn who you really are. So in my classes, I hold a workshop every Thursday and Friday at 6 p.m. and we go through these different steps and it's a safe space. I give everybody room to talk about how they feel. We do affirmations and I have little, things we talk about. We just put it on the table.
Wow. So it is important because I had 9 siblings, and each one of our personalities are different.
Hmm.
The way we think are different. The way we receive and accept whatever that is different. So I believe that we must allow, and we ourselves must develop who we are,
Yes.
and not try to be like someone else, because you're uniquely different than everybody else that's there. But many of us struggle with understanding, uh, how can we allow ourselves to just open our mind and really seek out for who we are, not whose we are,
Yes.
and to develop that self-confidence in oneself. What are your thoughts on that?
Uh, um, Going back to that, like who we are. So I also asked that question, who are you? And people always say, oh, I'm a mother. No, who are you without the titles? Who are you without doing something from somebody else? So just searching for that. Who am I? What do I like? What do I like to do? Beyond, just the name you were giving. Now, who do you belong to? Or who, those things that you just said. So that's very important to recognize that. So with the mirror exercises, we stand in the mirror and we talk to ourselves. And when I first did this exercise with young women, they just broke down and cried and they couldn't say anything good about themselves. And just breaking through that, being able to accept a compliment without thinking that you have to say something back nice in return. Dr. Melanie is one of my good friends, and she told me, Andrea, just accept the compliment. You don't have to compliment me back. And I was like, that's powerful. And I held that, with me for a long time because I'm a giver. And I feel like even if it's a compliment, I have to say something nice. But just to have that taken off of me and I don't feel pressure to try to find something good to say. And just being who you are freely and completely, unapologetically. And that's important, but respectfully. So we have to remember that. We all have, different values and beliefs, but we all have to be respectful of one another. And that's also about self-love as well.
So you often talk about transformation
Hmm.
um, through adversity. How do you guide people to use pain as a catalyst for growth? Because we all are going to experience and suffer some type of pain, or even I'm talking about maybe just within us, because we allow ourselves to accept unnecessary pain. Just like what you just said, your friend gave you a compliment and say, "Hey, no, this doesn't require you to come back and with something else to just accept that." How can people that are allowing themselves to experience unnecessary pain through adversity have a clear mind and able to think about solutions or other ways to resolve uh, that pain?
So stop being a victim of circumstance, not living in that victim mentality, not trauma bonding. And that's kind of difficult because that's what a lot of people are used to. I was used to it. Finding somebody that I felt like I can heal or we can heal each other, but we're suffering from the same trauma. So how could we help each other? So just finding your people, your tribe. And I found that with my team in Creative Love Network. So we encourage each other, we write together, we break bread together, we do different things. We go on trip out of, state together and perform our workshops and poetry. And that's also healing because I had a horrible trust problem. I didn't trust anyone. And it's a chapter in my book that talks about self-trust and letting go and having discernment and just knowing that you can't do this life by ourselves. It wasn't built for us to be that way. So everybody needs somebody. And I tell this story all the time. I was catering and I got a big job with Amazon on a studio set. And I had to cook for like 30 people. And I cooked all the food by myself. I had these big containers, professional catering, you know, plates and everything loaded into the car. When I got to the studio, I had to drive up a ramp. So I got everything, I got my cart out, put the food on the cart. And as I was closing the door, my cart started rolling down the pavement. Now I have to run and grab it and pull it back up. And luckily, nothing fell. When I got in the elevator, I got upstairs, and everybody was happy with what I did. But I was hurt. My shoulders was hurt. I was in pain, and I knew that. Why did I do that by myself without asking for help? Because I didn't trust that someone would be able to do that for me, or I didn't want to be a burden on someone else. But when I did tell my friends, they were upset at me. But I had to let go of that pride and just ask for help.
Well, pride is probably the biggest hinder of anything that we can do to be successful, because pride just overtakes us where we like, I'm not gonna do that. I know that person. I'm not gonna do that. That pride would cause a person to fall on the sword. As sword is in front of you, and everybody is walking around now. I'm going straight ahead. Fall on the sword because of pride, and a lot of that, I believe, Andrea, is that we fail to forgive ourselves and others, or things that might have potentially came from others, and we fail to forgive them. And by not forgiving, that puts us in a different mindset where we're not allowed to achieve.
Yes.
We got about 2 minutes on that question. What are your thoughts?
So another chapter in my book, self-forgiveness. Now, why is it so difficult for us to forgive ourselves for things that we had no control over? We were children, or we were young, or it was something someone else did, but we're like, how can I have allowed that to happen again and again? And just being able to forgive ourselves, and forgiveness of others is not about them, it's about us and us moving on in our life, because we're hurting, it's not going to affect them. So how do we forgive? What I do is I write letters to myself, and I have this in my book as well. Dear self, dear Andrea, whatever you call yourself, I forgive you for, whatever situation happened in your life. It was okay. and not reliving that situation again and learning from whatever happened and just seeing it before it coming. And again, that word discernment comes back. When you feel like something is deja vu and it's bad, move away from that. I've been here before and I don't want to go back. And just continue to make people treat you the way you want to be treated, and again, set those boundaries. And I think that's very important.
I think it's very important to learn from the mistakes and things that we have already traveled through. I don't see a problem in remembering what happened yesterday, or 10 years ago, or 20 years ago. There's no problem in remembering what happened, but don't live it.
Yeah.
I think a person lose focus because they fail to realize the now.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't realize the now, it's almost impossible for you to understand the potential things that could happen tomorrow.
Yeah.
So my point is this: things that happen to us, experiences that we have yesterday, 10 years ago, childhood, all of those things, it helps us out in shaping our path forward for who we are going to be, or allow ourselves to be. So remember yesterday, but don't live it. Live in today, the present, and always be prepared for tomorrow, because time is our most precious thing, our most precious resource in life. You know, so I'm gonna take a station break. If you want to be part of this great conversation that I'm having with Coach Andrea Lee, Coach Lee, all you have to do is just jump in on whichever platform that you're watching us on. Ask any questions that you might have. I promise you, we'll get you an answer. It's your life. And we'll see you shortly after the break.
Dr. James JC Cooley. The James Cooley Show. It's your life.
Looking to advance your education or career while staying true to your Christian faith? At Viridian Christian University, we make higher education affordable, flexible, and accessible wherever you are, cultivating a vibrant learning community where faith and knowledge converge, preparing graduates to fulfill their life's purpose. Whether you're pursuing a bachelor's, master's, doctorate, or honorary degree, Viridian's 100% online programs can fit your lifestyle. Study on your schedule from your home, office, or anywhere without compromising quality or values. With affordable tuition and programs in Christian leadership, business, and theology, Viridian will equip you to lead with purpose in a changing world. Go to ViridianChristianUniversity.com and see how you can join our global fellowship of faith-driven leaders, online and affordable. To learn more and apply, visit ViridianChristianUniversity.com. Viridian Christian University, a unique and dynamic environment for success, empowering leaders of faith.
Dr. Michelle Cooley. Heart disease research saves lives. It's that simple. Thanks to medical advancements funded by the American Heart Association, more women are surviving heart attacks, strokes, and other cardiovascular diseases than ever before. But there's still so much work to do.
Hi, I'm Dr. James J.C. Cooley, and I'm raising funds to support life-saving research because every heartbeat is worth fighting for. In honor of Women's History Month, please join me in support of the American Heart Association and women's health.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's your life, and I tell you, just sitting out having this discussion, that it affects all of us, especially. And I am what I believe is identifying who we are and being able to adjust to pain, trauma, or whatever comes our way, whatever way that we allow ourselves to do that. But I believe in anything we do, we have to have confidence in who we are. And we have to discover that confidence, not what other people want or think that you should be or you should do or you should look like or all that. Love yourself. One of the speeches that I give is called Know Yourself. Accept yourself. Love yourself before you share yourself.
Yes.
And that there, I mean, long as you take all of those things in, it fits into what the philosophy of the 4 C's: create, collaborate, commit with confidence. Commit with confidence. Confidence is the most important thing. Once you develop that, and by listening to what Coach Lee is conveying to you, I mean, I believe that will make anyone a better person, and kind of open our eyes on certain things that we still can achieve as long as we understand that, transformation comes in from the inside out, not from the outside in. Let me say that one more time. Transformation comes from the inside out. So we have to transform things that from the inside out in order to get a grasp of reality. But by saying that, Andrea, can you tell our viewers and our listeners a little bit about the title of your book? I know we've been talking about it, but we ain't went into the title. We hit certain chapters of that. Can you talk to our viewers and our listeners about the title of the book, why you wrote the book, some testimonies that you get when you're teaching your classes, and how this has potentially changed other lives?
Yes. So the title of my book is The Power to Change the Way You Love Yourself, 10 Life-Changing Steps to Self-Love. And we just dive deep into like how to break down who we are. The first chapter, again, I said, is self-introduction, and I asked the question, who are you taught to be and who are you actually? And we go into self-forgiveness. Forgiving yourself is very powerful, and it's the foundation of the healing, and that's where it starts. We go into self-healing, self-trust, and just building that relationship with yourself. We talk about trauma in the book. It's 10 different steps that we go through in here. And it's the course was 15 weeks, but because everybody was like, well, what's going to happen when it ends? Like, I love the community and it's doing great things for me. So I did a spinoff of self-love talk. So just talking to yourself better, building that relationship, right? And then people bringing their friends and telling me how it makes a difference. I had took off a couple of days from the class, and people texting me and emailing me like, oh, are we going to have class today? Like, I really missed the class, and are we going to have next week? So I don't have to follow up with them to remind them that it's going to be a class because they want to be there. And I feel like that's very powerful and important. I also go out to like different organizations like DCFS, me and my team, and we did a workshop for, I think it was about 50 teenage girls. And it was very powerful. I have these little heart mirrors. So these little heart mirrors, and we look in the mirror and we talk to ourselves, and we do what's called a mirror exercise. And then they do a repeat after me. So I will say some good things and they repeat that. And then I ask them at the end, now, how did that make you feel? And they all went through and participated and explained and really articulated how they felt from that. And I also gave them a copy of my book. So with my book comes a workbook, also affirmation book, and a journal. So in the journal, you just have journal prompts, or you could create your own, but it all starts with self-love or the power to change the way you love yourself, which I think is very important. And when I do the recordings, you can hear people say, that's so powerful. That's so powerful. And all the great feedback I get from it just makes me feel like, I put something good out to the world, because I don't want to be remembered for what I did. I want to be remembered for how I made people feel. And that's very important to me. I feel like I was put here to be of service to others. And that's what I'm doing. And I'm living and walking in my purpose every single day.
So the 10 steps, what is the most challenging step that people come to you and say, this is challenging?
The self-forgiveness. So the self-forgiveness it was challenging for me too, because I'm like, Andrea, you know better than how did you allow this to happen? And you should have seen it. And I just feel like it's good in everybody. But now that I'm older at this big old age, I really don't make those, mistakes, or accepting like who you are. And the acceptance part, because like I said before, it's like, who are you taught to be and who are you actually? So coming into yourself and accepting that and moving away from the things that you were taught, especially if it was a family value, right? So now you're going against your mom or your dad and their beliefs. So it's hard. And especially when I have people that come from different cultures and they very strong on what they believe, right? And I don't argue or go back and forth. I let them make that decision for themselves. So you have to make that decision. You have to have those hard conversations, because it starts with you. And so yesterday, the day before yesterday, I wrote a poem called More Tomorrows Than Yesterdays. So we can't keep living in the past, and we can't live in the future. We have to live in the present, right? And we have to remember that we want to have more tomorrows than yesterday, because we want to live a long life. We want to have longevity in this life, positive. And if we stress about things that's small, or we don't love ourselves or find who we truly are, then we're not going to have more yesterdays than tomorrows.
And that's so well put. And that's why commercial, I don't know if you saw it, it's about time. Time is the most precious resource that we have. And we sometimes fail to realize that we should always try to do the best with the time that we have. I'm not saying to pack pack 5 or 6 days into a 24-hour day period, but preparation or making one better.
Yes.
Being able to see past the tip of your nose. And most importantly, prepare yourself for tomorrow, if God allow you to be there tomorrow.
Yes.
By thinking positive today, yesterday, and being positive for tomorrow. We got to take a station break again, but I tell you, I'm sitting back enjoying this thorough conversation with Coach Lee. And if you want to be part of this conversation, all you have to do is just go to the comments. Ask any question that you might have. I promise you we'll get you an answer. It's your life, and we'll see you shortly after the break.
The future is here.
Now is the time to pursue the greatness in you. Welcome to Viridian Christian University, where faith meets future. We are a fully accredited, 100% online Christian university. We offer bachelor's degree, master's and doctorate degree programs, built for students like you. Affordable tuitions, 30+ degree programs, 100% online and flexible. Integrating faith with learning. Study from anywhere at your pace. At VCU, we do not just prepare you for a degree. We prepare you for purpose. Discover who you are, grow in faith, and build a future that impacts the world.
Are you ready to start your journey today?
Visit www.viridianchristianuniversity.com.
Apply today and be among the global leaders.
Hello, welcome back to the James Cooley Show. It's Your Life. I tell you what, we have a discussion. Still got a full segment to go with this great coach, Coach Andrea Lee. And what we're talking about right now, we're talking about
Your sound is muffled.
testing 1 2.
Okay, that's better.
Testing 1 2. So what we're talking about is the 10 steps or framework for self-love, and that's a part of her book and a part of classes and seminars that she conduct, and she continued to conduct. And a lot of these things, sometimes, by attending and reaching out to a coach, makes us better if we allow ourselves to open up. If we allow ourselves to open up, everybody need a coach. A coach need a coach. I mean, coaches need coaches, and so sometimes it's not a bad idea to reach out. And Coach Andrea, if people wanted to reach out to you to learn more about what you're doing and how they could be part of what you're doing and how you can help them out in the issues and concerns or problems that they might be having, how would they do that?
They can reach me, email me at andrea@creativelovenetwork.com, or you can follow me at coach_a.lee on Instagram and coach a.lee on Facebook.
Yeah, so how could they get your book?
So you can get my book on Amazon or directly from me, and you can just email me and I will send you the book with signature, signed and everything, and a little gift.
That's what I'm talking about, So with your 10-step framework.
So it's step 1 is
No. Step 1, we went over that. I was getting ready to say is how do these steps work together to create lasting emotional and spiritual transformation? Just like we talked about it, or transformation is renewing of oneself. And so with these steps, how would one be able to get a clear understanding? I wouldn't say clear, but an understanding of some of the things that they might be doing wrong themselves, and not allowing themselves to make that transformation.
So just breaking down the foundation. It's just like pouring the concrete from building the house. We're going to make sure before we pour that concrete, we make sure we, go through the layers, make sure there's no rotted wood anywhere. The concrete is not all clumped up. So we're doing the work step by step, and I think that's very important. So dealing and healing. So making sure we deal with everything on the inner level and not a surface level for it to return and come back. A lot of times in my life, it was hard when I started writing poetry or writing a story, and I would put it down because it was getting too deep and too personal, and the memories were coming back. But how do I heal from that if I don't continue to, talk about it, write about it. I deal with it in a positive way. I don't want it to control me. You could put a lot of stuff in the back of your mind, and it was to come to triggers. And then something happens and it triggers you, and then it can ruin something good because you didn't deal and heal with those situations on the inside. You only did it at a surface level. And we recognize when we do that, when it continues to come up. I also teach anger management in parenting as well. So in anger management, I always explain to them, like, anger is a normal response, is the rage. That's the problem. So when we get triggered from trauma, we go to anger, which leads to rage and another problem. So we have to deal with those things so we won't get to that point and just blow up. So I think that's very important. And that's why I broke it down into the 10 steps. And then I'm also building on those things as well. I'm going to start a focus group for young teens and adults and young adults, just to talk about what they need, because a lot of times they don't trust to go to their parents or their aunties or adult. They turn to their peers, which also doesn't have the answer. And so then after that, they turn to drugs and alcohol. And then if they're not dealing with something, then it could potentially turn to like something more vital, like suicide. So how can we get a group of teens together in a focus group to talk about the power to change the way you love yourself and their steps to be different? Because I'm not a teenager. It will be teen-led, but adult supervised.
You mentioned in the book, we got about 3 minutes left in the show, but a part of your book talked about creativity as a path to healing.
Mm-hmm.
And why is creativity expression so important to transformation, or the transformative of the mind, body, and soul?
A lot of times our creativity is a form of therapy. I know it is for me. And then when I talk to people, I say, what do you love? And they tell me, what are you good at? Either if it's drawing, cooking. So you do something you enjoy, and then you're smiling, you're laughing, you have something to offer, not only to yourself, but to other people to enjoy. And that makes you feel good. So it's a good feeling. And that also leads to healing because your work is out there. I never imagined that I could write one book, and now I have 10 and working on another one. Then I won awards for my book because I was always told when I was younger that I wasn't going to amount to anything. I wasn't that smart to do anything, and just continue to try to prove to my mom that I am. And after that, I said, I don't have to prove that to anybody. I just have to do it for myself. And then I got more joy out of that. And I'm standing here today as a testament to say, you could do it. Whatever you put your mind to, you can do that. Find your circle, find your support, and make sure whatever you want to do, I believe in you, and you should believe in you too. And that's where the power to change the way you love yourself comes from. Just believe in having that belief in yourself. Your mic is off.
What are a departing message that you want our viewers and our listeners to take away from this great discussion? We've got about a minute.
I want them to take away just doing what you love, doing the inner work, making sure that you heal. And therapy is not a bad thing, but starting with yourself. You have to know what you need first. So writing those steps down for yourself. What do you need to heal from? What is bothering you? What continues to come up in your life? And deal with that. You can also make sure you reach out to people that you trust. Make sure you're reaching out to the right people and do the inner work.
Wow. I want to thank you always for taking the time to come on the show. Continue to do all these great things that you're doing. Tell our folks one more time, if they want to reach out to you, how they can get you.
So also visit us at www.creativelovenetwork.com. You can find me on Creative Love Network on all social media platforms, or Coach.A.Lee on Instagram, and Coach _A_Lee on Facebook, and also Andrea at creativelovenetwork.com, and that's my email.
Andrea, thank you so much. Thank you so much for coming on the show. I'd like to thank Dr. Michelle Cooley for putting together another absolutely outstanding show. I'd like to thank my producers in San Diego and also in Dallas. KCBQ The Answer out of San Diego. That's AM 1170 The Answer. And also K-Sky, AM 660 The Answer out of Dallas. Always just reach out and just love yourself. I'd like to thank our viewers and our listeners for tuning into the show Monday through Friday. And my motto is always the same. Always dream big, think big, and be big at everything that you do. We'll be back tomorrow, same time, same place. It's your life, and we'll see you then.
Thank you.
Dr. James.